If you're working a guard post right now, the thought has probably crossed your mind. What should I do next? Maybe becoming a supervisor or the account manager is what you've been told to aspire to, but you don't quite want to do that. On the other hand, maybe you're a college student trying to figure out what direction to go with your major studies in security, but you've been shown maybe 4 options: cop, soldier, federal agent, cyber. Or maybe you're a veteran. You're about to make the transition out of military duty and want to figure out how your skills would translate in the civilian world. Corporate security can be a mystery for someone on the outside, looking in. So let's talk about at least 9 security verticals you could expect to see in many physical security programs for large companies. From analysts tracking global threats, teams moving executives through foreign cities, investigators running cases without a badge. These will typically pay more than guard work. Almost none of them require a badge, a deployment, or a computer science degree. One way to picture this topic is by thinking of corporate security as a mountain. At base camp, security guards in control rooms. These are the boots on the ground and the eyes in the sky for the building. This is generally the most visible physical security team because of how many individuals are needed to secure static posts, to patrol, and to respond to incidents. Most people stay at base camp for years, not because they can't climb, but because nobody ever showed them the routes. The companies don't advertise them. The colleges don't teach them. Your supervisor or account manager might not even have that much more context than you on what else is out there or how to coach you to get there. So people grind out years of experience that only counts at base camp. Route 1. The GSOC, Global Security Operations Center. If a company operates in more than one place, someone has to watch everything, everywhere, all at once. That's this room. Alarms, cameras, breaking news, weather, protests, employee travel, all of it flows to GSOC operators around the clock. Here's why I'm putting it first. It is the single most accessible professional seat on this mountain. GSOCs hire guards. They hire students. They hire vets straight out of uniform. You need reliability, calm under pressure, and the ability to write a clear incident report. That's the entry fee. If you can start following current events and world news and generally know how to find information quickly on the internet, you've already got 50% of what's needed to be a solid GSOC operator. Remember this room, because I'm going to come back to it at the end. The GSOC touches every other route I'm about to show you. Every single one. Route 2. Event security. And no, I don't mean checking wristbands. Corporate event security plans, shareholder meetings, product launches, conferences with thousands of attendees, and a CEO on stage. It's crowd science, venue assessments, coordination with local police, coordination with your company's marketing and PR teams. It's contingency planning for everything from protesters to medical emergencies. This is the most underrated skill builder at base camp. If you're guarding events now, you are already standing inside this career. The difference between staffing an event and planning one is the difference between base camp and the climb. Try to seek mentorship from your chain of command who is heavily involved in this process. Let them know you're interested in developing your career on this path and see if they'll take you along on walkthroughs or let you sit in on meetings. It doesn't hurt to ask. Route 3. Executive protection. The one everybody thinks they know from the movies? So let me correct the record. EP is 80% advanced work. Flying to a city 3 days before your principal does. Walking the venue. Timing the routes. Building the plan so nothing interesting ever happens. The suit standing near the CEO? That's the last 20%. Yes, this route hires a former military and law enforcement. If you don't have that experience, no worries. There are things you can do now to position yourself into EP without necessarily going through the military or law enforcement route. EP teams typically like folks with field first aid experience, preferably someone certified as a paramedic. If you don't have the military or law enforcement experience but are currently a guard, try seeking roles with Gavin DeBecker where they will train you in these skills before assigning you to a client. You can also sign up for EP certification courses. Route 4, it's EP's quieter sibling, travel security. Large companies often send thousands of employees around the world, and the law says they're responsible for those people. It's called duty of care. This team rates destinations, briefs travelers, tracks flights, and when an employee lands in a city right as things go sideways, they're the ones who help get that person out. Almost nobody outside the industry has heard of this job. Inside the industry, every sizable company that has frequent business travel needs most likely has travel security managers. For this, you need a little more than just guarding or even GSOC experience. Learn how to conduct risk assessments and get some education in travel operations. If you are able to reach out to your company's travel security manager, ask them for 10 to 30 minutes of their time to educate you a little more on how employees book travel and what happens when they need help. Quick gut check. Everything so far, you could at least have guessed existed. Ops rooms, events, bodyguards, travel. The next 5 routes are the ones that genuinely surprise people. This is also where the pay curve continues bending upward. Keep climbing. Route 5, corporate investigations, theft, fraud, harassment claims, ethics hotline cases, leaks, real casework, interviews, evidence, findings that end careers or trigger prosecutions, done without a badge, without a post-academy, and usually without working midnights. Who gets hired? Some ex-detectives? Sure. But also people who started by writing excellent incident reports at a guard desk and got pulled in to help review CCTV. In this industry, clear writing is a superpower, and nobody tells you that either. Be the person that's very comfortable with your CCTV software. Be familiar with the floor plans, where cameras are deployed, and get comfortable manipulating the footage to find key footage in a timely manner. If you can also help organize screenshots, video exports, and your incident report in clear to follow products, you'll stand out. Route 6, Intelligence. Every large company now runs what is essentially a small intel shop. Analysts monitoring threats against executives, unrest near facilities, geopolitical risk in markets where they operate. When a coup kicks off at 2 a.m. in a country where the company has 200 employees, this team is helping forecast the worst case scenarios and helps provide the decision makers with options. These roles are typically going to want candidates with at least a bachelor's degree at minimum. If you're the type who reads the news and asks, what happens next? This is your route. International relations students, vets with an intel background, and, again, GSOC operators who showed they could analyze, not just monitor. Route 7. Crisis management. When the hurricane hits the distribution center, when the factory floods, when an executive is detained overseas, or when countries go to war, someone facilitates the dialogue with key stakeholders to make a decision, and it's this team. Between crises, they wargame disasters for a living. Tabletop exercises, literally rehearsing the worst day the company could have. While the intel team is assessing information, the crisis managers are considering all major operations of the business to determine impacts to people, assets, operations, and reputation. Here's the career secret about this route. Crisis, people brief leadership constantly. No other function on this mountain gets you in front of executives faster. This is the straightest line from security to the C-suite. Try to build experience as an incident commander when responding to emergencies on site. Volunteer for emergency response teams and participate in exercises. You might want to specifically get a few FEMA certifications, which are free, or specifically sign up for business continuity courses. Route 8, which is for the builders. Security systems and technology, and the people who design where the cameras go, how badge access works, how a new headquarters gets hardened before the first employee walks in. Part engineer, part project manager, part translator between security and IT. If you like security but you'd rather build the machine than sit in it, this is the route, and it's chronically short on people. As a security guard, you might get a lot of this base level experience by supporting badge access and printing needs. Inside a control room or GSOC, you might develop this further by supporting service and maintenance vendors with security hardware repairs by validating signals on the access control software. The more you can become well-versed in CCTV, alarms, and access control software, you'll likely be taught more technical tools to help support the systems team. If you're not finding those opportunities, try to get certified in the video management and access control systems you are using. Then go for a CompTIA Network Plus or CompTIA Security Plus Cert next. Finally, Route 9, the one I promised you, special programs or security programs. Some companies may bucket this under a center of excellence. This is the team that has their fingers in all of the security department verticals to examine SOPs and ensure there is alignment in what one team does, in conjunction with the other. They are auditing processes and improving the training. They are piloting new programs like insider threat or workplace violence prevention before they exist anywhere else in the company. They might also be the team conducting research on new security tools, like trying to figure out how AI and robotics fold into the future of the security department. Why does nobody know about it? Because it's invisible from outside. There's no uniform, no ops room, no movie version. It also depends on the size and maturity of the company. But for this guide, that's the top of this mountain. They are not operating based on a standard, they are setting the standards. So, 9 routes. Which one are you most interested in? Let's not forget what I said at the beginning too. Remember the GSOC? Route 1? The room I told you not to forget? The GSOC works with the travel team when employees fly into a risky city. They are the ones to call the crisis manager at 2 a.m. Their 24/7 watch operations capture signals that then feed the intel analysts. The GSOC reports the incidents that investigations picks up. They are typically the heavy end users for the systems the tech team builds. Getting experience in a solid GSOC makes you a jack of all trades in security. If you can get into the room that touches all of these departments, you let the mountain show you which climb is yours. The GSOC will definitely be a topic we focus on in a future video. I'm the Security Sherpa. I spent my career on this mountain, including time on the government side, and this channel exists to hand you the map nobody handed me. Every route you saw today gets its own deep dive in the future. Real shifts, real numbers, real hiring managers' pet peeves. Drop a comment. Which route do you want mapped first? And if you're standing at a guard desk watching this on your phone right now, good. You're exactly who this channel is for.